and welcome to LTV News. I'm Stephanie J. Bevington and these are today's top stories. Residents of Baghdad's Shu'ala district spent this morning inspecting damage. A plane crashed in the Indian Ocean off the Comoros Islands. And just hours to go before the world premiere of The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey arrives. Let's start with some news from the Middle East. Residents of Baghdad's Shu'ala district spent this morning inspecting damage and cleaning up after a car bomb attack which targeted civilians the day before. Police and hospital sources confirmed 3 car bombs killed 23 Shia Muslims during mourning processions in the capital of Baghdad yesterday. Dozens were also injured in the explosions. They struck during the holy month of Ashura, which was of special significance to Shias, who are prime targets of the Al-Qaeda's Iraqi affiliate and other Sunni Muslim insurgents. The deadliest attack on Tuesday occurred in the Shu'ala district, where a car bomb parked outside a Shia place of worship exploded, killing 9. Volleys of tear gas were seen landing on the protesters' encampment in Tahrir Square in Cairo early this morning.
The demonstrators had bedded in for another day of protest, steeling themselves for further action in a bid to get President Mohamed Morsi to rescind his move to take sweeping new powers. Tens of thousands of protesters took their tents in the square while others kept the chanting going during early hours of Wednesday morning. There were clashes between protesters and police in the side streets during the night. Tuesday saw demonstrations on a huge scale against Morsi and the Muslim Brotherhood.
Suha Arafat, the wife of the late Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat, watched on television as wreath-laying took place at her late husband's grave following an exhumation for forensic examination.
She was in her apartment in Sliema outside Valletta in Malta watching TV pictures from the West Bank city of Ramallah where the exhumation took place. Forensic experts took samples from Yasser Arafat's corpse trying to determine if he was murdered with the hard-to-trace radioactive poison polonium. Palestinians witnessed the funeral of their hero and longtime leader 8 years ago, but conspiracy theories surrounding his death have never been laid to rest. Many are convinced their icon was the victim of assassination by Israeli agents and may have been poisoned wittingly or unwittingly by a Palestinian. Arafat's body was undercovered in the grave and samples removed without moving the corpse. The tomb was resealed in hours and refs placed by Palestinian leaders, including Prime Minister Salam Fayyad. The head of the Palestinian Investigation Committee, Tawfiq Taruri, said the procedure went smoothly. A Palestinian medical team took samples and gave them to each of the Swiss, French and Russian forensic teams.
The crowd in Cairo's Tahrir Square grew slowly but steadily throughout this week, creating a peaceful but thousand-strong mass by nightfall. Marchers came from various parts of the capital to show their opposition to a decree made last week that granted President Mohamed Morsi wide-ranging powers and put his decisions above legal scrutiny until a new parliament is elected. Morsi backtracked late on Monday, saying the new powers were only applicable to sovereign matters. But this did not deter his opponents, many of whom argue the move revealed his true autocratic tendencies. Moving on to world news now. A plane crashed in the Indian Ocean off the Comoros Islands yesterday after suffering mechanical problems, but all 29 people on board survived. The jet went down about 200 metres from Monterey Airport 5 minutes after taking off. Fishermen appeared to have led the search and rescue operation. In local TV pictures, small fishing boats can be seen coming ashore from the direction of the plane. A number of passengers are seen being helped and carried ashore, including a man in a suit with a dishevelled tie. Abu Muhammad Ali, Director General from the Comoros Islands, said all 29 people on board, 25 passengers and 4 crew, were safe. The pilot suffered head injuries while the rest were unhurt. Permafrost lands across Siberia and Alaska that contain vast stores of carbon are beginning to thaw, bringing with it the threat of a large increase in global warming by the year 2100.
A thaw of the vast areas of permanently frozen ground in Russia, Canada, China and the United States also threatens local homes, roads, railways and oil pipelines, the UNEP said in the report, which was released at the UN climate talks being held this week and next in Qatar. An accelerating melt would free vast amounts of carbon dioxide and methane, which has been trapped in organic matter in the subsoil, often for thousands of years, the report said. Warming permafrost could release the equivalent of between 43 and 135 billion tonnes of carbon dioxide, the main greenhouse gas, by 2100. That would be up to 39% of annual emissions from human sources. The study said that a thaw could also undermine infrastructure from bridges to power lines and harm animal and plant life in a north region of forest and tundra.
US Army Private Bradley Manning, who faces life imprisonment if convicted of leaking classified documents to WikiLeaks, returned to a military court in Fort Meade, Maryland yesterday to testify at the pre-trial motion hearing. Manning's lawyer, David Coombs, is expected to ask the military judge to dismiss charges on the grounds that Manning's pre-trial detention at Virginia in a 6 by 8 foot cell without natural light for 23.5 hours each day violated Article 13 of the Uniform Code of Military Justice, which prohibits abusive treatment of prisoners. Outside a court, a handful of protesters held up posters asking for the soldier to be released. Manning is accused of passing the documents to WikiLeaks through the online whistleblowing site. WikiLeaks has, however, not confirmed that Manning was the source of any documents it released. A new satellite image shows a marked increase in activity at the North Korean missile launch site, pointing to a possibility long-range ballistic missile test by Pyongyang in the next 3 weeks.
The imagery was released days after a Japanese newspaper, the Asahi Shimbun, reported that US intelligence analysts had detected moves that were seen as preparation by North Korea for a long-range missile launch as early of this month. Digital Globe, which provides commercial satellite imagery to the US government and foreign governments on Monday, released a new image that said it showed increased activity at North Korea's Sohae West Sea satellite launch station. It said the imagery showed more people, trucks and other equipment at the site, a level of activity that is consistent with preparations seen before North Korea failed April 13th rocket launch. A Pentagon spokeswoman declined to comment on reported satellite images, but said the Defense Department's position on North Korea's missile development efforts had not changed.
Now let's take a look at the world of arts and culture. Excitement in Wellington, New Zealand has reached fever pitch, with just hours to go before the world premiere of The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey occurs. The film is the first of director Peter Jackson's new trilogy, based on the stories of J.R.R. Tolkien and thousands of his fans of his work have travelled to the town to see the stars walk a red carpet, which is reported to be 600 metres long. Some, in costumes, spent the night at the barriers to reserve their space outside the town's Embassy Theatre. For some, attending was the accumulation of a long-held ambition. Many fans made the trip on organised tours, including one group from the US. The web search engine Bing said that Kim Kardashian topped the 2012 list of the most searched people, with Canadian teen pop star Justin Bieber coming in second. Kardashian, the reality television personality from Keeping Up with the Kardashians, grabbed the #1 spot back from Bieber after she topped Bing's annual list in 2010. The 32-year-old first found fame in 2007 due to an internet sex tape, but it was her intense use of social networking and reality TV that propelled her into a global brand with various clothing lines, diet products and cosmetics. Others who made it in the top 10 for the first time included singers such as Rihanna, Selena Gomez, Nicki Minaj and Taylor Swift, while Jennifer Lopez, Britney Spears, Megan Fox and Lady Gaga dropped out of the top 10. That's all we have time for today, but before we go, let's take a look over today's top stories. Residents of Baghdad Shiwala district spent this morning inspecting damage. A plane crash in the Indian Ocean off the Comoros Islands. And just hours to go before the world premiere of The Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey arrives. Thank you for watching. For more information, do visit our website on www.levant.tv. Join us tomorrow at the same time. Until then, from all of us at LTV News, goodbye.